Alright guys, so this second part of the video, I'm going to show you guys how to create a double expose image. And you're going to also try other few new tools as well so that you get to know your way around using Snapseed app. The first thing I want you guys to do is to take a few more pictures of your surrounding area, which you're going to use for your double exposed picture. So just to give you an example of what that might look like. So essentially it means two or more pictures are merged together as one photo. So you can see how some of the artists has done that. They either use the city, the landscape to merge into one. And I want you guys to take just a few more pictures so that you can edit that for this next step. Here I'm going to show you a quick example what I've done. So for instance, I took a picture of what was in front of me, of what I could find. So then I ended up doing a double exposed image for something like this as an example. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes to do that now. Now I want you guys to open Snapseed again. If you've got your old work in there, don't worry, you can just restart over by clicking on the open button, or just shut the app and open it again. Right, so I'm going to start selecting the images that I want to use for my double exposed image. So I'm going to just use that same picture I was using earlier on, okay? And the next thing I want to do is show you how to use the healing brush, okay? So for those who don't know, on Photoshop, when there's a healing brush, it essentially means that it's to sort of heal any blemishes or marks that you don't want to show in your photograph. So it's just a nice little tool to know how to remove any sort of blemishes that you don't want on there. So here I'm going to zoom in to this area. Remember, when you zoom in, the smaller the button, the brush is going to be. So zoom in and find an area where you want to remove any blemishes. So just use your finger and tap, and then done. And then just find any areas that you want to correct. Okay. And then you zoom out, and then you should be able to see the difference from before and after. So you can just hold down to see the difference from before and after. Once you're happy with that, then you just simply need to go and click tick, like so. The next part I'm going to show you is lens blur. Now if you click on tools, you will find lens blur, which is near the second bottom row. So what that does, it adds a stronger depth of field to your overall picture. Now my one is already a field of frame shot, so it's kind of hard for me to show strong depth of field. But if you've got like a picture of something going on in the background, you'll see that everything's been blurred out. I'll try and see how I can show it to you on this kind of picture. So maybe if I zoom into her eye area, and you can see that everything else has been blurred out, and all I'm using is my finger to resize the overall shape of how I want the depth of field to go around. So just to give you an example what that might look like, okay, so you can see the only focus is her eye area and everything has been blurred out. As you can see on the top row, it's got this blur strength. You can heighten it up to make it even more blurry, or you can lower it down. I think that you should try and keep it natural and not overdo it, but it really depends on the work that you've got in front of you. So then if I scroll down to the next option, you can see there are transition and vignette strength. So with transition, it's the outer circle of how much how you want the transition to start. So do you want it to start closer to her head here? You can use your finger to move around. And then again, the vignette strength is like basically darkening around the circular. You can add more shadows. If not, you can make it lighter, like so. So I want you guys to give that a go, and once you're done, you can click tick if you like it, or if not, cross. Okay, so the next one I'm going to show you is the vignette tool. And with that, you're going to, again, it's very similar. You can darken the background or brighten the background like this, okay? and you can even add brightness to the inner circle. So you see that circular shape. You can even add brightness inside or darken it inside. So you have a lot of room to play with this particular tool. Okay, so this next part, I'm going to show you guys how to double expose the picture. Okay, so if you click on tools and then you can see at the bottom the row there's the double exposure button. I want you guys to click onto that. Okay, and then the next thing I want you to do is click on the plus button and select the images, the image that you want to double expose. So for instance, I want to use this image. Now straight away you can see what's happened here. So on the bottom row you can see the tent. So click on the tent and these are the different blending options that you can use. Now obviously we all got different pictures, so I want you to choose the best blending option that you think is the most suitable one for your particular edit. Okay. So the one that I'm seeing I quite like is the lighten one, and I'm going to click onto the droplet which is next to the tent, and here you can adjust the opacity between the two edits, as you can see, in order for it to merge. So I'm just going to go probably around like this and see how that might work. So then I click tick once I'm happy with that. And then the next thing you want to do is edit the overall adjustment, which you guys learned before. So I'm just going to have a play with that. So you see before and after. Another little thing to note is that with double exposure you can keep adding more and more images without a problem. So let's say I want to have a stronger white background, so I took a picture of my wall just to see what will happen. And because the wall's got a bit of texture, you can see the kind of effect it has put on.